Hello there. Another day, another demand from the EU that we have to meet before we get a trade deal. When you top them all up, you do have to wonder whether the EU really does want a deal. Firstly, as ever, please kick that YouTube algorithm up the jacksie by giving this video a big, fat like. And I do generally upload new videos every day, so please check back regularly. Brussels has now added what is being called an Elgin Marbles clause to the Brexit trade talks. This came to light when the Telegraph got hold of a copy of the latest draft of the EU negotiating mandate that Michel Barnier, their chief Brexit negotiator, has to follow. The draft contained the following. The parties should, consistently with union rules, address issues relating to the return or restitution of unlawfully removed cultural objects to their countries of origin. Those concerned claim this is not specifically about the Elgin marbles, but a general reference to all antiquities. Now, the demand to include that clause is said to have come from Cyprus, Greece, Italy and Spain, and the Telegraph says one official said it did refer to the Parthenon marbles that had been removed from Greece between 1801 and 1805 by Lord Elgin. And Sky reports, an EU source said the request had support from other EU countries, such as Cyprus and Spain, and that Greece was more concerned about the illegal trade of its relics through British auctions. Now, I do understand that there are arguments over whether or not Lord Elgin was legally entitled to remove the marbles from what was at the time in effect an Ottoman fort, so I'm not sure how he could have got them out without permission from someone anyway. But adding this dispute into the Brexit trade talks via the back door at this late stage does sound a bit pathetic. Anyway, all this has led to fears that we now have the Elgin marbles thrown into the ring as extra Brexit bargaining chips. And then we hear that Eurocrats are also now threatening to play games with the asylum process. All we in the UK are arguing for is that two sovereign territories treat each other with respect and come to a free trade arrangement. But the Eurocrats cannot hoist this one in. The EU is an ever-expansionist organism, always looking to extend its web of influence, and a free UK on its flank poses a real danger. So as far as Brussels is concerned, that threat must be neutralised. All Brussels can see is an escaping nation that must be colonised, either in the form of once again being a full member state or under as much control as they can impose on us. So with every day that passes, it becomes clearer and clearer that the EU will never, and probably can never, do a meaningful trade deal with the UK. Just look at the demands the EU has made over UK fishing, Northern Ireland, Gibraltar, ECJ control, etc. And now we have the Elgin marbles. All we're now heading for is transferring our relations onto WTO terms at the end of the year. The trouble is, though, that we've tied ourselves into another 10 months of what will probably prove to be pointless negotiations. And those talks risk descending into a farce of Ealing comedy proportions, if we're not already there. With one side trying to get on with its future as an independent nation on the world stage, and the other side viewing Brexit as a sort of passport to Pimlico parody. And now we have the vision of the masked figures of Ursula von der Leyen, Michel Barnier and Guy Verhofstadt, complete with striped burglars' jumpers, sneaking into the British Museum to whisk the Elgin marbles away at the dead of night in an old Morris commercial van. Brussels is desperate to strip the UK of its assets, and the telling thing is they think they have the right to make such demands, indicating the disdain they hold for the concept of the nation-state. Let this be a lesson for all the other EU member states that still propagate the lie that their nation's sovereignty remains intact within the framework of the European Union. It does not. You are simply kidding yourselves. I say this to the people of the EU27. Your nations, your heritage and you are all owned by the European Union, which will have already made an inventory of your nation's assets for the greater good of the expansionist, authoritarian federal European Union. And dare I say it, your personal wealth will also be included in that inventory. Anything to keep the EU project afloat. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. So what do you think of the EU attempt at a sneak grab of the Elgin marbles? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.